Well, starting this year, a growing number of Texas school districts are banning energy drinks on campus.
Administrators point to concern over severe health risks as the reason behind the ban. High amounts of caffeine and sugar raise heart rates, and that can lead to high blood pressure or even chest palpitations. Those stimulants can also lead to jitteriness, followed by hard crashes, and that makes it difficult for students to concentrate in class. The American Academy of Pediatrics advises that children and teens avoid energy drinks entirely due to the high volume of stimulants. Here in East Texas, a ban on energy drinks is already in place at school districts like Gladewater and Diboll ISDs. So let's bring in GMET's Emma Kay now for a closer look at some of the specific risks to students' health and focus.
And now school districts are enforcing the ban. Emma?
Good morning. Energy drinks target three major areas of the body: the heart, the nervous system, and metabolism. The metabolic impacts are long-lasting, and heavy consumption of sugary drinks during formative years can lead to obesity, type 2 diabetes, or even kidney disease. Even the sugar-free options pose dangers to developing bodies. Energy drinks can contain over 200 milligrams of caffeine, but the Mayo Clinic recommends no more than 100 milligrams per day for teens ages 12 to 18. School districts say open drinks will be thrown away if brought to campus. Unopened drinks will be confiscated. Back to you.
All right, Emma, thank you.